Okay, so these are the notes for dilations, okay? So let's just go through the very top part right here and fill in the blanks for our notes, for our vocabulary. So up here it says dilations. Other forms of the word is dilate, dilated, dilating. Means to make a shape bigger or smaller. This is often called zooming in or zoom out. When a shape is made bigger, it is called an enlargement. When the shape is made smaller, it is called a reduction. You can do this by multiplying the coordinates by the scale factor. Okay? Scale factors larger than 1 will enlarge your shape. When the scale factor is a decimal or fraction between 0 and 1, the scale factor will reduce the shape. Okay, so dilation just means we're going to make something bigger or we're going to make it smaller. A lot of times we think about that as like zooming in and zooming out. We do it all the time with the cameras on our phones. We're taking pictures. Sometimes we even do it on our computers or tablets when we want to see something a little bit more detail on the screen. Okay, so pause right here. Make sure you've got your vocabulary words filled in the blanks. Anytime during this you want to stop and pause and copy, please do. Okay. Now, we're going to work three examples together. Okay. Our first example right here is triangle MAP. Okay. And we've got we're going to dilate it by a scale factor of 4, which means we're going to graph MAP and then we're going to make it 4 times bigger. Okay, make it 4 times bigger. When you see scale factor 4, that means I'm going to multiply everything by 4. Okay, so that means both of those numbers are multiplied by 4, multiplied by 4, and multiplied by 4. I'm going to write that over here as my new ordered pairs. Okay, so like right here, M is negative 1, 1. If I multiply by 4, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, these are ordered pairs, so make sure you're putting commas and parentheses. If I look at A, for A prime, I'm going to multiply 1 and negative 1 both by 4. Well, 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times negative 4, I'm sorry, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. And P right here, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is graph my pre-image and my image, okay? And what I should see is a shape that is 4 times wider, 4 times taller than the one I started with. So let's graph M, A, and P first. M is at negative 1, 1, which is right here. A is at 1, negative 1, so A is right there. And then P is at 1, 1, so P is right there in quadrant 1. Connect my dots and make my triangle, okay? Now, that's my pre-image, that's what I'm starting with. Now, my image I got by multiplying by 4, making it 4 times taller, 4 times wider. So let's see if that looks like that's true. M prime is at negative 4, positive 4, so that's to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. Now, that's M prime. A prime right here is at 4, negative 4, so that's to the right and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's A prime. And P prime is at 4, 4, so that's 4 to the right and 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's P prime. I'm going to graph it. And I'm going to tip my paper right here so I can connect it. Here we go. Now, if I look, I do see it. My new triangle is 4 times taller and 4 times wider. I can just double check my work to make sure that's true. Like, look right here at MP. The length of that side of that triangle is 2 units long. But look at M prime, P prime. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units long. Well, 2 times my 4 makes 8. So I did make it 4 times bigger. Okay? Now, stop and pause and copy this down, and then restart your video. And let's go to example 2. And example 2 is a reduction. And the reason I know that is because I have this fraction right here. Okay? So what I'm going to do first is multiply. Now I'm going to multiply by 1/2, or I can multiply by 0.5. Okay? I could also think about it another way. Or I could divide by 2, because we know multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. Okay, let's get my paper so you can see it. Now, let's graph. Well, let's multiply. So I'm going to divide by 2. Well, 0 divided by 2 is 0. So K prime is going to be 0, 0. Because 0 divided by anything is 0. Now, negative 4 times 1/2, or negative 4 divided by 2, is negative 2. And there's that 0 again. Okay? Now, see right here, I've got the 0. Now, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Here we go. Now, I'm going to graph my pre-image first. And then I'm going to graph my image. If I do it correctly, the image should be half as wide and half as tall as the pre-image. So let's see if that's going to work. K is at 0, 0, so that's right here. And that's K. T is at negative 4, 0, so that's to the left 4, right here. C is at 0, 4. Okay, so graph my triangle right here, just like that. Now, I'm going to graph the image and see if it's half the size. Okay, so K prime is also at 0, 0. So I can label that K point K prime also, just set them side by side right there. T prime is at negative 2, 0. So negative 2 zeros right here, and that's T prime. And then C prime is at 0, 2. Now, when I connect those and make my triangle, I can tell that triangle is half as tall and is half as wide as what I started with. So it was like I zoomed out. I made it smaller. Okay, pause and finish copying this down, and then we'll do example 3. Now, example 3 is going to be a square. And here I have a scale factor of 3/4. So that means I can multiply by 3/4, or if I want to, if I'm going to use a calculator, it's really easy to change it to 0.75, and that's easier to put in a calculator. Okay? Now, if I multiply 4 by 3/4 or 0.75, the easiest calculator to grab if you want to is your phone. I'm going to just bring my phone right here. Okay, and I'm going to do 4 times 0.75 equals, and I get 3. Okay, so that means A, since it's 4, 4, that's 3, 3. Now B is 4, -4. So I already know from A that 4 is going to be 3. Now I can tell you right now, we've got enough number sense to know that this second number is also 3, but it's going to be negative because it starts off as -4. And the same thing with C. 4 times 0.75 is 3, but they're both going to be negative. So -3, -3. And then I've got D right here, which is -4, 4. So that is going to be -3, +3. Okay, now the next thing for me to do is just to graph. Okay, so let's graph our pre-image right here. A is at 4, 4, so that's to the right 4 and up 4. And there's A. B is at 4, -4, so that's to the right 4 and down 4. And there's B. C is at -4, -4, so that's to the left 4 and down 4 right here. And D is at -4, 4, so that's to the left 4 and up 4. So right there. If I connect all the sides, I'm not using a ruler, so my lines are mostly straight. There we go. Now, we know we're going to be reducing this by 25% because we're multiplying by 0.75. So let's now graph our pre-image. Let's graph our image and see if it comes out to be the same. Right here, A is at 3, 3. So right 3, up 3. There's A prime. B prime is at 3, -3, so it's to the right and down 3. There's B prime. C prime is at -3, 3, so that's to the left 3 and down 3. And D prime is -3, +3. And that's D prime. And there we go. And I do see that I did shrink it down. Okay, stop and pause and get this copied down. Then after you finish your notes, put it in your interactive notebook and go to Canvas and look for the assignment that goes with it.